Infidel defilers, which rolled round in the medicine plot. Now they will know why they are afraid of the dark. Now they will learn why they fear the night.
In the house.
Yeah.
Straight from the Midwest.
Minnesota, to be
We got
exact.
this boy off the farm, finally.
Yes.
His first time off the farm.
From farm to table.
From Okabena, Minnesota, bud.
This is true.
We call it Tokabena.
Yep.
He's the mayor.
Yep. No. Neighbor's the
His
mayor.
neighbor is actually the mayor. It's insane. He came over to his
many
house when I
people?
was there. It was like 30 people.
No, it's like 87, I think.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Wait, really?
We
Not
went
even
up-
100 people?
Yeah, we went up a couple more recently.
In the town of Okabena.
Yeah, family moved to town. I think we're up at 87 now.
Went from like 84 to
You
87.
can count it. It's like 2 blocks, you know. We got a post office
That's
and the bar
insane.
and the bank and the welding shop.
That's how you
it.
know at least you're a legit city is there's a fucking post office.
Yep. Yeah, it was only
Kind
open.
of a legit
It was
city.
only open for like 2 hours before I moved to town, because they didn't ship much, and then I moved to town, and now they're open for like 6.5 hours.
Waldo keeping them employed for
They
sure.
love it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're like, oh, it's this guy again, just shipping garlic salt, eh, bud?
They know now. They're all pretty excited. How expensive is this box? Does this have glass in it? Well, yes, it does.
So, for those of you who do not know who Waldo is,
You're fucking lucky.
why don't you introduce yourself, Waldo? Tell us how long you've been in the game. Waldo is a glass distributor, salesman, gypsy.
It's very true.
That's pretty point on.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I started in 2006 on festival tour. I was vending glass kind of sporadically.
But how'd you gravitate towards the glass?
So I went to a festival actually in 2006 and met my future business partner Kevin Clark.
Where?
At 10,000 Lakes Festival in Minnesota. Yep, epic fucking festival. And he was selling these little oneies, just like the 9mm tube oneies with little sandblasted 10,000 Lakes on it. And I ended up buying a couple from them, took back to my campsite. Everyone around my campsite wanted one, so I found this dude, bought a 100-pack, and crushed it. And I think I sold like over 2,000 that weekend. The first time I ever touched glass in my life.
That's fucking awesome.
It was. I was just bored. Everyone was just hanging out at the campsite, and I wanted to go meander and talk to people. So I went out and just sold the shit out of them, and that kind of like rose my suspicions because at that time I was actually in auto body and refinishing technology. So that's what I went to college for. And
You went to college?
yeah, in North Dakota, but North Dakota State College of Science. It's a smart college.
Oh, shit.
I got
He's a
A's.
scientist.
Learn something new about this dude every day.
So yeah, after that, I kind of found my love for like going to festivals and meeting all these people because they had stories from all over. You know, some are older, some are younger, and they were just way different than what I grew up as. And I found out that I could hustle glass, and so I bought an RV that summer and booked, I think, 9 festivals, and I was just walking around hustling case by case at that point. I didn't have any vending stand or anything, and so I'd drive to Colorado. Actually, I started out with like $1,000 at that point. I'd drive to Colorado, reload glass every week during every festival, and just kept on growing from 2 cases to 4 cases.
When
to
you
6
say
cases.
reload glass, were you going to like individual artist studios, or word up?
Yep, I went to pretty much one, my business partner, Kevin Clark, and he knew pretty much everyone that had blown glass around Boulder.
Do you remember some of the first artists you worked with?
It was Sean Nelson. I call him Boomhauer. Definitely don't have any Instagram. He's kind
Boomhauer.
of yeah. Diabolic Harold Stern lover. He's a fucking he's a beast. It was him, Sean Noon, Kevin Clark, Christian something, I can't remember his last name, but there's a lot of just Boulder production makers that were up in the North Boulder studios. So, yeah, so I just, I'd go there and I'd tell Kevin, hey, I'm coming in on Wednesday, and he'd call all the local glassblowers, and they would just come in with cases open, and I would just pick out what I wanted and just kind of get a huge assortment and take those cases, and next week I'd be back, so it'd sell out pretty much every weekend on the road.
And that was just primarily a variety of festivals then. It's like fish shows. It's like
no, it was mostly like small Midwest festivals, like 3-4 day camping festivals. No like big name, no Dead Tour, no nothing like that. Like I was pretty much just staying around the Midwest at that point.
That's something that I've seen work, right? It's easy for someone like me to get stuck on the coasts where there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
But when you're willing to hustle in middle America like that, there's definitely plenty of people that are eager and grateful for your efforts, it seems like.
They never get to see anything like it.
Yeah.
Like half the people were just blown away. I'd open my cases and I would sit in one spot for over an hour because it would just be like a line of people coming to check out my case. It was insane at that point.
Yeah. That reminds me of the early days when I would hit fish shows and you'd open the case and you just really felt like my status in this environment just got way higher. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Anything at those festivals, just a little bit of a detraction, but like I also saw a lot of crazy shit go down. So I mean, any
oh yeah.
Oh,
you know.
he's there's a YouTube video of him.
My God.
At what festival? That's the
This
Boston
was
Freedom Round?
Extravaganza in like 2011.
Oh, yeah.
We were vending at that time. This is when I also had the retail store. We'll get back to that. But I was vending at the time, and it was me, Jerry Kelly, Pipe.
OG.
OG. Kevin Clark, one of my best friends, Matt Coltrane, and I think there was a couple of Kevin's high school friends there. And we were just hanging out. And I saw this fucking dude grab like 3 pipes off my fucking table, and I grabbed his hand, and he slipped out with one of the pipes. 2 pipes dropped, and I just jumped over top of the fucking table and ran right into the middle of the crowd, chased this dude down. Jerry's buddy tripped and fell and like hit his foot, and I was able to jump over top of Jerry and just fucking tackle this dude, and I held him to the ground, and everyone around me was fucking mad at me thinking that I was fucking up.
Right.
But then I started yelling, he fucking stole something from me. He stole something from me. And
There's a
everyone
video.
Oh yeah.
What should they search?
Extravaganza Western Mass weed fight. It's under a weed fight.
Look it up.
Yeah,
And it's like a young Jerry, dude, fucking young Waldo, and I was like, oh shit,
like
I
14,
guess.
15
You
years
know,
ago.
big festivals, it's a shitty part of it. I would definitely
So funny.
At the Seattle Hemp Fest, I remember we would, there's like 100,000 people at that, and we would have to have a couple people standing in the crowd out, and I busted so many high school kids, and I would just shame them real quick.
Yeah.
No, you'd see them do it, and you just put your hand on their shoulder, and they immediately crumble, and they're like, "I'm sorry," you know what I'm saying?
Not knowing there'd be a dude behind.
Right?
you in the
Yeah,
crowd.
basically,
Like,
and so it's just like, get out of here. But then a bad one was at Chalice. I don't know if you remember Ben Wilson when he was fighting cancer. And Wu-Tang Clan had come up, and so everybody had gone to see Wu-Tang Clan, and glass vendors, somebody had put all their glass in a case and put it under their table, and some dude just came by and grabbed the case, and Ben saw him, and he chased him down. Guy got away, but he dropped the case. I think he tackled, and they had a little bit of a scuffle, and dude, abandoned the glass and got away. But fuck thieves, everybody. I don't know. Don't give a fuck what you think you're doing. If you think you're being gangster or something, you're actually just being a loser.
Yeah.
And if we find you, we will destroy you.
Yes. You don't even know the horrible things we can do to a person in a glass shop. That just might be where my brain goes. But
That'll be the Halloween episode with Dwreck. We'll get fucking crazy.
People come here, they never leave.
But so
Look up the Gemini Lounge.
So you were in the Midwest, in North Dakota.
South Dakota.
And then what took you to Mass?
So actually, a little bit before that, I got fired from my auto body job.
For what?
Because I've cocked off to the wrong person, but he wasn't even my boss, but he made a lot of money for the company. So that guy got me fired the next day. I worked there for 3 years, and then the next day, the guy just came in and handed me my paycheck with no notice, no nothing. And at that time, I didn't know what the hell to do.
Do you want me to?
I had owned a a trailer house. It was my first house I ever bought, and I had that and a couple cars and shit. And so I ended up selling my trailer house and my cars and moved to Washington, Tri-Cities, just to get away for a little bit. And at that point, I wanted to just get away from everything, sell everything I had, and try to figure out my life, because I was going on tour. I was enjoying that. And this was like in December. So I moved out there until March. And in March, I started to drive home.
Tri-Cities like Kennewick?
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
that area.
That's where I lived.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
I mean, it's Kennewick with Spokane and...
Nope.
Oh,
Kennewick, Richland, and Pasco.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so on my way home, South Dakota actually did not like me. They had kind of arrested me a couple times on some false charges, but they could never actually like really catch me. And when I drove across, it was on 420.
I like that real quick. Some false charges, but they could never really catch me.
Like, what?
It was and,
glad you said something.
And so yeah, I was driving across the North Dakota, South Dakota border at that point, coming home, and it was like 3 a.m. on 420. And I get pulled over for my license plate being in the wrong spot. And all of a sudden, they're threatening to cut open my tires because they think I'm like one of the biggest drug mule bullshit, whatever the frick they were thinking.
The downside of being a big fish in a small pond.
You know, South Dakota. And so they searched everything. They found one Vicodin pill that was prescribed to me 3 years ago, but the expiration of the prescription had lapsed. So they actually put me with a federal felony because I crossed state borders with it and had to sit 30 days in maximum security.
Brutal.
So after that, I was beside myself. I couldn't figure out what the hell to do. They gave me like 2 years federal felony probation. And at that point, I was living in South Dakota, and I said, screw it, I'm going to move to North Dakota. So I moved to North Dakota and went up there. And within 2 months of me living there, my probation officer was like, you don't even have to like report to me. Just call me once a month and send in your $72 probation fee, and you're good to go. Just make sure that you call me once a month. I'm like, okay. So I had this guy that I met in jail that was signing my release forms to leave the state to go vend festivals. He built grain bins, which is definitely a Midwest thing. And some of you might. So a grain bin is something that holds all the grain after you harvest it, and you wait for a higher price.
I thought you said green bin.
No, grain.
Grain bin.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the grain bin. But okay, go on.
And so he was signing my release forms to leave the state, saying that like I was in Colorado this weekend vending or building grain bins, but I was out also vending a festival. So I would just use him as like my friend that would help me out, kind of thing. So I got to vend festivals for 2 years while I was on federal felony probation. After that, I moved to Colorado because I got off probation. I just wanted to get the hell out of the Midwest. So I moved to Colorado. I was there for, I think, 3 years, and I was just kind of working for Greenside up at the time, the studio in Boulder, just kind of doing some, like, clean up, or I'd go get them food, or I'd roll them joints, or I'd kind of do whatever. In the midst of me also doing wholesale runs from Colorado to Minnesota, because I owned a shop there called 20 Past 4 in the Arts District in Minneapolis. So
you owned 20 Past 4?
Yeah, in Minneapolis. Yeah, not the one in Fort Wayne.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I have. That's still is it still a shop?
Yeah, there's 2 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. There's 1 in Indianapolis.
Dude, I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
is that how we met?
No, because that was 2008, 7. Yeah, 2008 when I opened that one.
I remember those business cards.
Yeah.
20, because I was like, oh, that's a cool name for a shop.
Yeah.
Damn, I had no idea.
Yeah, so I was driving back and forth, and my business partner at the time, Trey, he was running the shop, and unannounced, like 8 months after we opened, I just showed up one day, and I found him in the back room playing Fortnite, smoking weed in a state that it was not legal in at all. So that day, I took all my shit out of the store and moved to Colorado, or went back to Colorado, and just kind of held on to this stuff. And about a year later of just kind of hanging out in Colorado, doing little wholesale runs here and there, Kevin Clark asked me, he's like, hey, do do you want to move to the East Coast? Because we want to open up another store. And I'm like, yes, get me the hell out of Colorado. At this time, Colorado was just becoming legal with weed, and like it was getting influxed by, my rent went up like $400 a month. It was just getting crazy. So I was like, yeah, sure. So that's when I moved out to Boston and started running Green Side Up Gallery.
Store, like a
Store. Yeah,
right?
we had one in Boston, and then I opened one in Providence, Rhode Island as well. So those were 2009, I think Kevin opened up the one in Boston, and I moved out there in 2010, late fall, and then opened up my own in 2011 in Providence.
And then how long did you have the store for?
2016, June, I ended up deciding to move back to the Midwest just because I was not getting paid really doing wholesale. I was running a studio in Boulder. I was running a studio in Providence. I was running both stores, and I was doing distribution. So I was pretty much working 7 days a week and, hanging out and trying to party as well 6 days a week. So it was a full-time job.
Yeah.
And now, when I moved to Minnesota, I found like a spot. I was going to move there and open up a store in Mankato, Minnesota, and just have like a small art gallery and also still do distribution. But when I moved there, I think it was 2 weeks before Glassroots Art Show, and I had a booth at there. So I had 2 weeks to get everything locked down, find the store, get a spot to live, and I found all that stuff. And when I went to move into my house, the lady was standing there waiting for me when I went there to give me the keys, I supposed. And all of a sudden, she hands me my check ripped up and said, "This isn't going to work out. I found you sell weed pipes on your Facebook." And I was like, what the what? So at that point, I went up to Minneapolis that night. I only had like 10 days left to find a spot and move in before the trade show, because I had to unload all my stuff. And
the first Glassroots in Madison?
No. Yeah, this one was 2016.
Oh,
so
this was when
this was when I fully transitioned into Waldos one.
Oh, yeah. That was my next question.
Yep. So I went up to Minneapolis and went to a show and ran into a buddy that I hadn't talked to in a good 6 years, and he told me he's got a place, a farm place. His grandpa had passed away, and he ended up buying his grandpa's farm place in the middle of nowhere, and there was another glassblower living there. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I ain't got much time. I'm just going to go ahead. Do you want to do this tomorrow? And he's like, wait, I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. Can we move down there? And he's fucking said yes. And so the next day I moved down to Tokabena, Minnesota. and the rest is history. I found a 4-acre parcel 6 months after that and bought that. And I've just been doing distribution kind of ever since.
I dig it.
Yep. Long journey.
When you closed Green Side Up, that's when you started hitting the road hardcore,
full on.
And
I was always
hit up all the artists that you just knew or whatever.
I was ready. I already had distribution going. So pretty much the whole time ever since 2008 is when I started distributing. 2006 is when I started selling glass on tour, and those full 2 years was when I was on probation, and I was just kind of doing festival to festival to festival to festival, and then I started getting like 25 to 30 cases at that point I was up to. And so I'd only go to Colorado every 2-3 weeks, instead of going every week. But I've always done distribution. I've always, and in between my store and everything, I was still doing distribution during the week. So when I lived in Boston, I was running the whole East Coast. So I'd go to New Hampshire 1 week, go back to the store, work in the store for 3-4 days. I'd go to Vermont 1 week, go back to the store, work for the store in 2-3 days. Next week I'd go to, New York. Next week I'd go over to Massachusetts. Next week I'd do Rhode Island. So I picked pretty much a state a week, and I just kind of go there and do that little 2 to 3 day runs, and then go back and run the store.
Yeah, very cool.
Respect the hustle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this dude's definitely one of the hardest working dudes I've seen in the industry for sure.
Appreciate that.
Been to fucking every state.
Oh yeah, I did every state in 2016 alone.
Oh shit. Yeah. And then where did we meet? At Glassroots?
Yeah, I think it was 2009. Glassroots.
I remember thinking you were super weird. I wasn't a big fan of you to begin with.
And now he loves me.
No, I'm just joking. But Waldo was even wilder like then, so it was just
that's
like
true.
a lot of energy. But I had
15 years ago.
I had a lot more energy back then too. So,
Yeah.
but that was the funny thing. I used to sell government glass to him where he owned a shop,
Yeah.
and now this fucker comes to my shop and unloads like, he reps like over 70 artists. Oh,
Yeah,
how
I'd say about that.
did you meet Jerry Kelly?
Oh, fuck. So this was actually in like 2007, late fall. I was out at Colorado actually picking up glass, and he ended up coming into the studio, and he was having, this is crazy, he was having a hard time selling his glass for like $10 a oney and $20 a spoon at that point.
We'll have to
And,
bleep that out.
And at
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. And at that point, I just couldn't believe his work. I was so astounded by it. I think he had like $2,000 worth of work there, and I just told him I'd take the whole thing. And he looked at Kevin, my business partner, and was like, "Is this fucking kid serious right now?" And I was like, "Dude, I'll take it all right now." Because there was a bunch of like Dead Stuff and Simpson and South Park and like a bunch of old school stuff that I know everyone our age can relate to. So when I took that on the road, it was instantly like sold out, and I hit him up the next week and I was like, "Yo, I need more." And he just, after that we just clicked, and the rest is history. And I started distributing his glass at that point, and everything. We fucking have done some shows together, and
Yeah, at my shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's a legend. We'll have him on the show if he ever gets out here again.
Yeah.
We need to do another thing with you and Jerry.
Yep.
Be
fun.
And then I guess what led you to Glass Roots? If you see the shirt I'm wearing.
Oh yeah.
Says,
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
make
give us
pipes, not war.
Yep.
And Glass Roots is a trade show that's originally started by Nick, right?
Yep.
In
In
Madison, Wisconsin.
Yep.
And I've talked about that show a lot. It's like the best trade show. I met Boom there and Megan there. I had already met Matt at Champs, but
That is hilarious. I didn't know you met them there. That's funny.
he brought Megan to,
Just considering you live in California,
I
you
know.
met him in Wisconsin.
Matt drove because Champs was in Vegas and they were running the shops in
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Called
So-
Discontent.
Yeah, Discontent. And so they
I always
came
thought
out.
that was a weird name. That's, no
But,
offense
they're
to
all
anybody.
like
It
pretty
was
metal
almost
stuff.
one of my first stores I ever actually got to walk into in Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And it was like the hippiest hippie store.
And they're still
Yeah,
killing it, I believe. So
They've always been-
respect. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said
Rest
Yeah.
in peace, Tom, who started
right.
that store, passed away a few years ago from cancer. But especially in the beginning, Tom and Will, like I said, when we have Matt and Megan on here, they'll do a great job of explaining more of Tom's role. But he was always into like music and stuff too. So those stores had records
They
and
had
skate stuff,
hippie
and like
clothes,
It's awesome.
When I was going on the
stickers.
road in 2016, or no, even before that, like in 2012 for Boom and stuff, I'd make sure to stop by there and I'd trade them glass for fucking the shoes. I was buying like Adidas there.
Oh
So I
yeah,
was
and
like,
they had disc golf. They had everything in that store. It was another world.
But so Madison, that show was more centrally located for all those Midwest shops. So Matt and the whole crew, Discontent crew, drove out. I remember smoking dabs off a Healthstone for my first time.
Yeah.
Megan handing it to me, and I was like, "What is?" I can remember smoking with Megan. Like,
Did you ever smoke dabs off of a coal? That's the way.
That's the first dab I ever
the
took.
first way we were doing was off coals.
And shout
It's
out.
funny to think about that, right? Like, how hot is a coal?
Pretty hot.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I guess we should
Let her temp
put the
check
temp
that,
yeah. for one. Okay, and so
It's like an 800-degree dab.
probably, it's definitely over 500.
Yeah.
I'd say that, And so, but yeah, you'll see it in the Boom, I think, episode 2. But if you missed it, that was Boom comes up to me. I'm in Madison. He's like, "These are nice bongs." I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Where are you guys at?" I was like, "Orange County." He's like, "I'm in Orange County." It's like, "Oh shit." It's like, "I make bongs." I was like, "Oh shit, you're Boom Falaise." He's like, "I play bass." I was like, "I play drums." Like, let's hang out,
Yeah.
But I think that's probably where we met,
2009,
right?
because it started in 2008 and as Great Lakes Art Show, and then Glass Roots was 2019 or 2009.
2009.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed.
I
I don't
mean-
think I did that one, but I did 2010. I did the
Glass
second
Roots
one.
has always been that grassroots organization where you meet your lifelong connections, and that's one
Straight
of the
up.
things that like really got me into this industry was the first time I went to Glassroots was 2008 when I owned the store in Minneapolis called 20 Past 4. And I owned that. I went down to the show to check it out. And then 2009, I was a vendor for Green Side Up. Yeah, and so we started sponsoring it, I think, in 2010 and sponsored it all the way till 2016. I always had that 50-foot corner booth, and I'd bring in, 20 artists just to come hang out and see the vibe and feel everything. They had live glass blowing. They had a bunch of stuff going on. It was just a huge community thing. And in 2016, in January or February, Nick asked me to be a part of Glassroots. And at that time, I was still running Green Side Up. I didn't know where I was going or what was going to happen. And later did I know, June of that year, I actually closed my business partnership with those two and left the East Coast for the Midwest. So potentially I could have, took it over at that point, but I felt like the time wasn't right. And then he took on Allison, which runs Michigan Glass Project, was a great addition to Glassroots. She's so organized, has her dots her I's, cross her T's. She is so organized in everything.
Bummed it's not happening this year.
Yeah. It's such it's such a big event.
I get it.
A year off isn't going to be a bad thing.
Totally.
And I think that, they're going to grow for it. Yeah, she's doing a bunch of small shows.
Oh, that's the
this
Michigan
year.
Glass Project?
Yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
People are also a lot going on in the world. Markets changing. Glassblowers trying to figure out where they stand in the world right now, and it makes sense that maybe to take a year off and let everybody sort of figure out where they stand. But that is, at this point, the event that if I had to give the highest accolades to, I would probably. It's still going.
Yeah, you need to watch the YouTube video. We shared it last year. I had a Michigan Project screening. And literally, I teared up 3 times during that movie. I never watched it, and it was so powerful.
Is that the movie Dan made, or?
I was just gonna say
Dan Collins.
Dan Collins, a
it was,
friend of mine.
Oh, dude, it was so empowering. Like just what they've done for the community, and how much they've gave to the community.
It's the best example of the glass community for sure. All the artists involved, they work so hard. They make such amazing stuff, and they go all night, and they donate it all to charity so that it can advance. I guess we should be saying this: the children art programs in Detroit. So super rad that they
even
do that.
Before they did that, they brought in that documentary that Dan made, which you should definitely watch. They even brought back the aquarium before that was the project they had. There was an aquarium that had gone bankrupt
on an island that was supposedly known, like Detroit was known for that, and it got shut down 2 years before that, and everything was emptied out. It was so sad to see Detroit lose that.
It was
as a
big research center for fish and marine biology and all that kind of stuff, and then it was shut down. They donated it was because of MGP,
back up.
because
and
of pipe
opened
makers.
It back up, and it just became a huge local thing now that everyone has to go out and check out. It's amazing.
Allison and who's
Drew Cubs.
Drew, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Oh, right on.
Yep. Drew, they're both great people.
There's a big crew out there, but those two are definitely the headliners of it. But it takes a freaking army for that.
For sure. Yeah. I'm lucky I've only been to one, but that was definitely the best event, other than the original DFO.
I mean, they get the heavy hitters, heavy hitter glassblowers out there, and
it's so much respect from those guys too for giving their time and coming out and doing it. There's so much that they have to give up for that week. They don't work, and it is nonstop work. I can't imagine they go home and they continue working. They got to take 3 to 4 days off of that because it is just pure crush.
We flew home with Luke, and he literally pulled an all-nighter. He stayed up and every night he was already up till about 4 or 5 anyway. Yeah. And then that last night it was him and Banjo, a couple others I can't think of off the top of my head, Windstar and all that. And then his flight was at 11 a.m. So he left at 6 or 7 to go to his hotel, pack his shit up, shower, check out, bring his shit back to the studio, keep working until he just took an Uber straight to the airport. Yeah, that dude, he sat right next to me on the flight because he came here. That dude was out fucking cold. Dude. Yeah. Oh my God, it was so funny. And we all tried to stay up as long as we were on the same flight, but I need a little more sleep than that. So we left at like 6 a.m., you know.
Yeah, I was leaving at 2 o'clock every night. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. It was tough.
But so then, so Allison joined Glassroots team.
2016.
Yep.
And I kept vending it. I didn't sponsor it, I don't think, after that, because I started Waldo's Wonders full-time at that point. And then fast forward to 2023, Nick had approached me, and I told him, I'm serious. I want to get involved into Glassroots, and he approached me and said, I think me and Allison are ready to give it up. So that was a pretty big moment, I guess, for them to come to me and just be ready to, give it to me pretty much as a person that they knew could do what they were trying to do with it. It was kind of a huge undertaking, especially like how weary the industry was and how everything was going at that point. After COVID, it just had kind of shut down, and there wasn't, the COVID days of the glass selling wasn't there anymore. So I knew it was going to be a tough thing for me to take on and to make a show happen that was particularly all American glass. At that point, everyone was so stocked up after COVID and all that stuff. It was just going to be tough. But I told Nick, I want this. I'm going to do it. And I moved it to Minneapolis for the first year last year in August.
And as someone who attended the show as a seller, government glass, and I help distribute all the boys' work. So I take Dwreck's work out, Algie's work out, Swears, Megan, the whole squad. And as a shop owner who attended the show too, you fucking rock.
It was
good job.
It was not a hard, it was not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
We talk a lot. Waldo's one of my closest friends. He was one of my groomsmen. So we talk a lot, and like a lot of stress goes behind pulling something like that off, and keeping everyone happy is like so fucking hard. And, I bought a bunch of work from a bunch of dope artists that were there and have sold a lot of it. And I sold a lot of work and met a lot of new shops there. And I talked to a lot of other artists that were there, high end and low end, and everyone did pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, just like, the way things have been and, and
it was a big first year.
Yeah. So, and then all the after parties were just hosted properly, and it was very communal. And that's what used to be the best part about this was when AGE, when Champ started getting so big, AGE came along and was like, hey, we're small again. And then AGE started getting so big. And then Glass Vegas was like, hey, we're small again. And then Glass Vegas started getting so big.
I will not be going past that ballroom of 30,000 square feet. I will never have more than 150 vendors. I will not do that, because as soon as that happens, it hurts everyone. Everyone's sales are down. I'm trying to be, a little bit selective on who the vendors are coming, that they have reputable reputations, saying that they do ship orders. If I hear anything bad, I definitely research it and make sure that vendor is not, I don't want to say that worthy, but I mean, it's definitely I don't want
trustworthy.
Yeah. I don't want a shop showing up and not getting an order if they place it and they pay you and then it comes back on me. It's very tough on me to chase those people down, try to get them. And, even I had a shop that hit me up from 2020 Glassroots saying, or 2019 Glassroots saying that they did not receive an order from a glassblower, and I still helped them out this last year and got that glassblower to pay them back, because I feel like that community it's missing right now. I am a vendor trying to make a vendor show happen for the vendors to make sure that they're happy, because I just feel like we keep on getting pushed away by the pricing and everything on all the shows, and the travel costs and hotels. I know what it takes. It's not easy. Even having employees come, just everything, the cost of everything's gone up. So I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. My parents are running registration. I don't have any employees. I pay it is all me that is doing everything for Glassroots and Waldo's Wonders. I'm, only one man. I can only do so much. I'm trying to do everything.
What are the dates or the plan for this year?
You just announced them?
I just announced them 2 days ago. It is August 19th to the 21st at the Hyatt Regency in Minneapolis. And the venue...
Put it on your calendar.
Yes.
The venue's
The venue
beautiful.
is in the same spot as the hotel, so you can wake up, walk 40 feet, and be
Great.
right in the convention center.
Dig it.
And
Nice
it
hotel.
was such a nice vibe last year from everyone, the bar staff, everyone there. They actually have really good food at the bar. They have like chicken wild rice, and all their ingredients are locally sourced. So I feel like we fit in perfect there. It was a little nice Vishwanky hotel, but we still fit in great. Everyone respected it.
Yeah.
There wasn't a bunch of stoners getting super high in their rooms or in the
Yeah,
convention.
not at all.
Everyone actually,
Not
my smoke alarm didn't go
AKA
off.
Roozy,
My
but
smoke alarm didn't even go off.
but yeah, everyone was respecting it, going outside, smoking, and
the whole
I
staff
think-
was cool.
Yeah, I think
cool
that,
with it.
that went a big way with the hotel. You know, of
Shout
letting
out
us come back.
Wilbur and Corey's
Yep.
Portal they were like
Yeah,
your and James Caribou
Yeah,
for
they were
fucking
huge last year. All three of those
pretty much
guys
being your
came in and just
non-official.
helped me. Yeah, unofficial employees, but they
Yeah.
definitely came in and kicked ass. Anything I needed, they saw us dressed out. They'd go get me something to drink. They'd get me food. Like they were on point, and I did not ask that much. Trying not to ask that much of them because I knew it was going to be a hard year, and I couldn't really pay them. So I allowed them to bring as much glass as they want and put it on the table, try to at least sell some glass and have a free exhibition spot.
They all did
while
well.
crushing for me. Yeah.
and he hosts an after party at his farm, so that's why I got to go visit the farm again, and that's where he's got this whole warehouse where it's like he like literally built his house and the old house he lived in. He built a brand new house. His bare hands,
Yes.
right there next to it. And then he's got this huge warehouse where he keeps all the glass in and stuff. And then he grows awesome garlic salt that's very popular. He sells that as well. You could hit him up for some of that. My mom
gone this
literally
year.
buys it.
So
I
sold
have
out
so
a
many
couple months
friends
ago.
that their mother-in-laws are like, we can't cook without Waldo's garlic salt. Like, you cursed us now, you know?
Yeah, it's heart
Yeah.
and love put into that shit. You know?
Yeah, you know what's funny? Really quick, when I applied at AGE when I was with Government Glass, we had to put 2 references that were shops down, and so you couldn't just get into the trade show.
Yeah.
Like, so what you're doing again, just like kind of regulating and seeing someone's reputation and like, you know, how long have they been? You know, some seniority.
It's
does
good that
come
you've
into
been
play,
on both
you know?
sides of
Yeah.
the table, because it's, you know, the easiest criticism of any trade show is all the organizers are trying to do is sell booths and not worry
Yeah.
about getting buyers in there.
Exactly.
I'm 100% all in on the buyers. Like last year, there's room for 130 vendors in this space, and only 68 actually showed up. This year, even though I only released it 3 days ago, I've almost had already more than that hit me up trying to get in. Just because, you know, last year was such a successful show, and not
And word
only
gets out.
in sales, it was the vibe of the show
The
is
most
back
important
to
thing.
what it was. You know, if I see someone sitting there bitching all day on Facebook and not making glass, I'm sorry, but you're probably not going to get accepted to be a vendor, because I don't want that negativity there. Everyone needs to be happy. You know, we all know what the industry's like right now, and we just need to hold on. I mean, you know, I'm still out there crushing it. Everyone tells me the industry's dead, but
then we crush
I did
shows and-
5 appointments this week and almost did 30
You know,
grand in sales.
I think that you two are a good example of just attitude making a big difference, because there's some highly talented glass blowers out there saying the industry's dead and they're wondering why they can't do anything. And I'm like, listen to yourself.
Yeah, they're bitching.
Like, you're not bringing an energy that people want to be a part of. And then I watch the shows that you are doing, and I'm not trying to peel the curtain back for people that aren't part of it, but I'm like, I'm seeing successful shows happening. And what's the difference? Are these people sitting around complaining, or are they just getting at it?
Staying
yeah.
active is just
You
such
know?
a big part of, I mean, the world we live in now too. It's just everything's so fast, and there's so many outlets to go find your whatever, you know.
And the truth is, it might be a bitter pill to swallow, but we all get into our comfort zone. I'm the most guilty of that, and that doesn't mean that it's going to sustain you for a while, and it can get a little bit uncomfortable once in a while to have to figure out not a different, but just like, you know, make something new, shift what you're doing, appeal to different people, or do it in a different way. But the next thing you know, you feel stoked that you did that.
Yep.
the reason we linked up to start sharing booths at the trade shows was because in case it gets just like dead or boring, at least we have someone to hang out with at the trade show,
which is important.
So, and that was like the kickoff of it. I mean, really, but we have a lot of the same friends and similar yet different products and stuff. And so he brought people my way, I brought people his way, and we have fun doing it the whole
just
time.
To come hang out with us,
Like,
not even
literally.
place orders because they just did 2 weeks ago, but they just want to hang out at the booth. It's awesome. I mean, the vibe is back to
from
that
my
again.
perspective. I mean, I couldn't ask for more from glass sellers. You know, people that people want to hang out with. It really boils down to that. It creates a community. It creates a culture. It's not just a product. You're not just hawking a product. You're hawking a lifestyle. You know, and that's something that's been proven over and over again to be successful when it comes to arts and crafts and whatnot.
Agreed.
Well, right on, Waldo.
Yeah.
We that was a cool story.
I think that was.
I learned more things about this farmer.
Yeah.
To
take away, man, just never give up on yourself, never give up on your hustle, and always keep your eye on the prize because you never know. It might take a different path to get there. But the bad news, of course, is once you get there, you realize you're never actually there. You got to.
What's the next dream? What do I want to do next?
So, thanks for doing this. Love you.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Shout out Evan. Thank you.
Shout out to Evan, and then once again, like and subscribe. We're going to be doing continued giveaways. So there we go.
We're gonna do a giveaway. We can't do it now.
No, we're not doing it now. We're not about to go live. We'll do that.
So we already hit 100 subscribers. So this is